Hello one and all, and welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2. I am the Max of You Trades, and as you can see before you, things have gotten a little bit nutso. In the last part, Nagito can be only described conservatively as super ultra mega murdered. And, well, despite all of my previous wishes, it seems like I don't really have much of a choice in the matter. Someone is probably going to be the one who did this, and good reason or not, it doesn't really matter. In Danganronpa, pretty much everything is cause and effect. Somebody is going to end up dying by the end of this, and I'm not mentally prepared for it. That being said, I also don't really have much of a choice. Theoretically, I could just flat out stop playing the game entirely, but I feel like I'd never be able to really live that down, and people in the comments section would harass and torment me for the rest of all time. So, yeah, I should probably just keep playing. First things first, let's, might as well see what everybody's got to say about the situation. If only everyone could go home. Nothing would make me happier. No. We should finish the class trial, then we can think about what will happen after. As I said, as horribly awful as this situation is, and the fact that I'm going to lose one of you guys, as much as I desperately don't want to, the fact of the matter is, once this trial is done, it's basically impossible for any further killings to actually take place. Nagito was the only reason this one happened. And boy ever, did it actually end up happening. My god. Soda? Yeah, I kind of figured. One of us killed Nagito in such a cruel way? It's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh. Yeah, it's, a bit overkill if I'm being entirely honest. So I had some time to think it over, and I think the general thing is Nagito's entire plan, I don't know whether or not he himself wanted to kill the traitor, or if his entire plan was always to egg on the traitor to potentially kill him. Either way, I feel like it's got to be that sort of instance. Either he tried and failed to kill the traitor, or he was always intending to die and getting the traitor to do it so that they would eventually get sussed out and killed themselves. Which, is messed up, let's just say that much. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling? Yep. Yeah, about that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire. Well, none of the sprinklers could have activated over here because nothing is wet. Well? You can see a girder right next to it, right? There. See? Whoa, hello. Can you see that red streak? No, I see a pink streak. Speeds by. Pepto the Hedgehog. Anyway. Eh? Well, I'll be damned, you're right. I definitely see it. Looks like a small red line, pink, on the ceiling girder. Is that blood? Blood? The color definitely looks like blood in this universe and only this universe, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? And yet, there clearly is, so that's going to be a factor. Plus, it's in a straight line. Wasn't there like a big old bloody cord or something attached to Nagito? Or at least near him? That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. And I should remember this. Blood on the girder! Yep, that's what I thought it was going to be called. Fuyuhiko, you're wise. Tell me the haps. Yeah, I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's going to happen? I don't know. My initial impression was that it was, in fact, an explosive. But now I don't know. I feel like that probably is a little too simple. What's gonna happen? This rotten school trip is gonna end, right? We can finally go back home. Well, I mean, the school trip ending can mean a lot of things, Kazuichi. Not only, I mean, not just the idea that, you know, maybe, possibly, we all end up dying as a result. Carefree till the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen? Well, yeah. Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends. Like some kind of battle royale? That would blow. What do you mean, something? He's making us kill each other, you know? What could be worse than that? I don't know. But this is not Akuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way those will end smoothly with a countdown. That kind of implies that, basically, had we all just completely waited from the start, eventually this whole thing would have ended and nothing bad would have ever happened. You know, except for the fact that Nagito made everything happen, which sucks! Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Yeah, I know. And don't bring up strange stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of hard to not. Akane, you're also very wise. It mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikon's. But it looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter? The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. The time of the death was noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? Well, I remember the fact that we thought that the bomb was gonna go off at noon, but it was clearly earlier than that. So, I feel like Nagito must have died around the time when the fire started. Somewhere around then. If I was gonna guess, I mean, I had a theory that, I don't know, maybe the fire could have possibly, like maybe he was set up and he got brutalized, but he wasn't dead. And then, like, he got tied down, and maybe, like that bloody cord or something, maybe got, like, tripped by a wire or something, and then that was what ultimately killed him? So that it would, you know, it would all happen and officially take place during a time where we were all together. That was what I was thinking of, you know, off screen. What were we doing? Well, right now, it's 12:30 p.m. Thank you, Minimaru. So it also has a clock function. It's mostly a clock, Hajime. Come on now. And that means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. Yeah, it happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill. Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it, but I'm going to let it go because, you know, you're Akane. It's all good. And if it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs? You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon. Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. Yeah, but it was all a little early. Otherwise, I mean, then it would just kind of be a cut and dry case of it being Sonia. But this could be like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Can we just stop to appreciate the fact how seriously Akane is taking this situation and is actively doing her best to figure stuff out? I'm really proud of her. I actually am. Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare. Then whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bombs is suspicious. You're not wrong. Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's the problem. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, well, I gotta ask about why is this Monokuma plushie so bloody? Looks like a chest burster popped out of him. Monokuma's dead! There's blood coming out of his stomach. Wait, no response. He's dead, Jim. You quoting Star Trek at me? Just kidding, I'm not dead. I'm friggin' Monokuma, and I'll be here until the heat death of the universe. Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory? If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you. You're the one who went off on and on about how they were complete and total duplicates. You're a stuffed animal, too. Don't put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading. What are you calling oversized garbage? Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Perhaps. Then why'd he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood? Did he try to imitate Nagito's body or something? I had nothing to do with that. As awful and terrible as Monokuma is, he's never really directly interfered or tampered with any of the crime scenes. Eh? He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there. I mean, that would be nice. You seem more pissed than usual these days, Monomi. But you better watch what you say. I'm an incredibly violent psychopath. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the end. I will definitely take back the seat of world supremacy from Monokuma. That's a very ominous way of putting it. Looks like those annoyances are gone. All right, fine. So he had nothing to do with it, then what's the story? If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. I don't have the slightest clue, but there it is, I suppose. All right, next thing's next. Oh, wait, hang on. There's a lighter, specifically? Oh, wow. Ah, it's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. Interesting. If the oil lighter was placed here, that's probably the cause of the fire. An oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm. It is a most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire. I was about to say, Sonia. Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them. Oh, well, that's an extraordinarily dangerous thing for it. So using that, the curtain was set on fire. Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it? Well, I kind of have a theory about that. The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. It caused a fire to destroy evidence. That's the only reason I could think of why a killer would set fire to the crime scene, but... didn't do a very good job. Also, I feel like they would have probably noticed the frickin' sprinkler system. I was gonna say... the way that it was all, can I, like, take a step back? No, I can't? Alright, fine, fair enough. Anything else specifically to look at? Oh, right, hang on, the fire grenades. Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastic are scattered all over the place. A very flimsy plastic that breaks upon impact. This is probably the fire bombs we threw. Don't be acting like that's something that's surprising. Those fire grenades that we used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually that useful in the end. In fact, I dare say they probably made it worse. The sprinklers were good, though. The fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, the evidence really isn't all that strange. Okay, well, I still feel like it was worth making a note of. It's obvious, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to inspect it. Alright, well, I guess we actually need to look at this. Now that I've gotten a little bit more used to things and have mentally accepted all of it happening. I never expected Nagito to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times when we were only able to reach the truth because of him and his extraordinarily cagey and downright evil ways of going about it. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. So ultimately, I think it's a bit of a net neutral. No, now's not the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. Right. Also, the Monokuma pile. The file didn't actually give us a specific cause of death. And all right, I'm already noticing a couple things I'd like to ask about. There's that bloody wire. There's apparently one of the ropes apparently seems to be burnt. There's also a fact that his left arm there. His left, not our left. It seems like the front of his hand is covered in blood, but his hand itself is actually, the palm is clean, which is a little weird. I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. All right, well, honestly, first things first, there's this whole situation here. Okay, well, yeah, let's go with the burnt rope. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope, but it looks like the tip of that rope was burnt off. Could this be a result of the fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burnt off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? You'd think he would have also been slightly on fire. I mean, I guess it's... No, then that would mean he was strung up. And that doesn't seem to be the case. Also, Jesus! The knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? Seems very unnecessary. The knife. It must be from the military base. Military base? The one you were hanging out at? For reasons you still haven't explained? Now that you mention it, you're right. Looks like a survival knife. In fact, it looks a lot like the knife that was used to stab someone else in the past game. By the way, it seems the wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife. Which means, after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand?
It cannot be.
And then they finished him off with the spear. It is rather messed up. And does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons? A knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing him with the knife. Why'd they need to use a spear?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? Well, something I was kind of curious about is how this entire... Okay, so... I both kind of understand, but at the same time, I don't understand how that would work. A reason they had to use the spear, huh? All right, so one of the things I noticed is, well, obviously the bloody cord, right? Hang on, can I back up? No, I can't. Great, awesome, cool. Then I just have to explain things and hope it makes any sense. Okay, so the way this looks is that I think this cord is connected to the spear, no? Which would imply that the spear was probably hung up, but the problem with that is the blood on it, on top of the fact that there was blood on the girder itself, implies that the spear would have been hung up after it was already covered in blood. Which I think would be kind of weird, would it not? Regardless, speaking of, maybe we should actually take a look at that. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. Bruh. There's no way around it. It looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it. I see. You could use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear. It's a very bizarre method of attack. Not impossible, but bizarre. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the spear of Gungnir, right? Like, the same spear you used to kill somebody in the past? Like, the very same? Or is that just a cheeky reference? You definitely just came up with that now. By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from? I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle. What? Nezumi Castle? I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you, mice! Damn you all to hell! I see. Even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. Why was he designed to be afraid of mice? Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. That spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord is coming out of the handle. It looks like that part has blood on it too. And, oh, hang on. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. I didn't even notice that. It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it, implying that someone was holding it and bleeding on it? Because that would be the only way. It would have to have gotten blood on it while it was being held. But that would imply, seeing as how it couldn't have been the killer, I mean, I guess they could have washed their hands or something, but no. Because if it was the killer's blood, then we would see some kind of visible injury on one of us. I mean, okay, admittedly, Fuyuhiko's got his eye situation and his stomach situation, but they're not open wounds right now. So then that would imply that, I guess, Nagito was holding it? And he bled on. I'm not sure how that works. Huh, okay. It might be better if I confirm that later. That I most certainly should. Spear of, yeah, I guess that's what we're calling it, huh? Okay. Wow. Aw, dang it, for a brief moment, my headphones were actually giving me audio in both ears again. For the longest time, it was broken, and it only gives it into my left ear, but for a second, I managed to adjust it just perfectly to make it so I could actually have both ears hearing it. Now it went away, and I feel bad. Alright, well, let's see here. What's this? His feet. Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monofumi... Why am I saying words wrong today? The wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagito, they also stabbed his legs? Seems a bit overkill, is it not? I feel like one of those things would have been enough to stop him from moving. Both doesn't seem necessary. Why would the killer do something like that? It all just seems so unnecessarily brutal. At any rate, it's pretty sadistic, coming from the Yakuza. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge toward him. Or they might have been torturing him. Torture? Oh, that's true. To get the answer out of it. Yeah, actually. That would make sense. I mean, if they wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? All of the extra injuries, yeah, that would make sense. If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? I assume, well, it would either have been the password or the way to get rid of the bombs, but I don't think either of those actually line up that well. Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so,
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge towards Nagito. And let's not forget, quite literally everybody in the group right now did in fact say that they were gonna kill him. Okay, admittedly, that was Fuyuhiko. No, actually, I don't know if Akane did. I think she just had beat the crap out of him. Fuyuhiko and Kazuichi, they said they were going to. But, yeah, Sonia and Chiaki didn't, refusing to let him die easily. I could totally understand a dark impulse like that. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? It's all very strange. On another thing, yeah, I was gonna actually ask about the tape. The way that the imprint is placed on his face, it kind of implies that he was in mid-scream while that tape was slapped on. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Is this to keep Nagito from screaming for help? Would he have if he was? I don't know if he would.
This is bad.
What a horrible look on his face. The blood splattered all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape, otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at him. Oh, got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Chiaki moved past Kazuichi and me and squatted down next to Nagito's face. Nah, why though? And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth. Well, actually, it looks more like she cut it. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
Ah, it'll be fine. I'll put it back right away once I've done investigating here. Putting the tape back isn't the issue, young. Okay, we don't need to call people stuff like that. Jesus, you're gonna get cursed. The blood on Nagito's face looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case, it's no use. She's not listening. Yeah, and Hajime doesn't seem to be doing it either. Hey, about the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape, which would imply that blood hadn't gotten there before he got the duct tape on it. Not sure how that really applies to anything important, but there you go, I guess. What's wrong with that?
Well,
This duct tape has crinkles, like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Seriously, what's wrong with that? Well, a lot of things are wrong with that, but I understand what you're trying to say. She means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it. Just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
yep.
Yeah, you're right. Even in death, we will not let you yell at us. Well, he never yelled. Just shut up, okay? It's symbolic. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue, too. I should remember it. Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, I wouldn't have brought up any of it. All right, then I guess the only other thing would be his other arm. We gonna point out the lack of blood? There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this one looks like a slice. And that's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to the others. But it also would it would explain how much blood there it is. Could have cut an artery from that angle. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound and there's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
What's strange about this specifically, Chiaki? What you looking at?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. Hey, I think the blood is from when his left arm was sliced, but doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. And I guess that would only really work if he was the one holding on to the weight of that spear. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it was splattered? Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but something else that's strange? When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand,
Well,
there's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger. Okay, no, then I'm not sure what the story behind that is. What do you have to do with your hand to not get blood on such specific parts? All right, why is it only this part?
see?
See, it's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. Chiaki, you are a strange girl, and I want to pat your head, but come on now. Yeah, sure, you win. 'Twas not a game, I'm afraid. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? We're gonna have to try and figure out the sequence of events and figure out, like, what happened when. I'm honestly not sure. Guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagito's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly-looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Yeah, well, when you gotta get things done, you get things done, man. Does this mean I'm used to it? Oh, that's a sombering thought. My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible. And I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. This has admittedly happened 4 times before, but still. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. To be fair, none of us were exactly normal. I hesitate to ever believe that. Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone through the trouble of tying him with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So what was the reason? Well, looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. Alright then. If you'd be so kind as to let me back it up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's where the cord is sticking out. That's what I thought. I couldn't see the top of the spear and the cord at the same time. I wanted to figure out if they were connected. The game itself figured that out for me, but still. All right, I'd actually like to take a few steps back, not necessarily leave. There we go. Yeah, I was kind of interested in this. These were not set up this way before. There are a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. The panel near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? But why are they scattered like this? The last time I came here, I seem to recall... Yeah, that's exactly it. They should have been neatly put away. Well, I have a vague idea. Maybe we're the ones who made this mess? Eh?
See?
Look, the tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? Yep, that's... Okay, so my theory is immediately confirmed. I don't have to keep it to myself. I'm guessing that when Akane busted the door down, or open, as it were, it caused a literal domino effect to knock over the panels, which then hit the lighter, which then set the curtain on fire. Which is interesting. But then if the fire happened to the thing, and that made the spear fall... Okay, but then again, we don't know the spear's... Yeah, we keep forgetting. Or I keep forgetting. I'm sure nobody else does. The Monokuma file didn't specify what was the direct cause of death. Just that he has a bunch of wounds. So that, I think, is important. So even if I thought, like, I don't know, the spear was dangling off the girder and the fire somehow made it get loose and stab him, then, yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean that the spear was what killed him. Interesting. So maybe the reason these panels are tipped over is because kaboomba. It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Clatter, clatter, clatter. But it's not opening, you see. Something blocking the door? Was it the panels that were blocking it? I could barely open it. I know it, it's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? No time for that. And thus, boom! Mighty kick. I got to say it! Mighty kick! There we go, I got to bring back mighty! Hell yeah! It's not a banded catchphrase now, is it, TV tropes? I feel good about that. Woo! Could it be? Was that it?
Well,
There's something else I've been wondering. What's that specifically? These Monokuma panels are tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? You seem to be lying on top of each other in a straight line. Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that line's the only one that's neat and orderly. Isn't that clearly strange? Strange. That means there's ghosts about. We could speculate this was done intentionally. For some reason, I've got fat tongue today. I'm tripping over my words more than I normally do. Topeka, Kansas. Topeka, Kansas. Come on. Get it all figured out, head. We gotta be on our A game here. Oh dear, there's so much stuff. Okay. Oh, aha! I actually noticed this. Didn't get a chance to look at it, though. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. Why is this here? It was what was making the ominous Latin chanting. It wasn't Latin chanting, but I couldn't think of anything else to call it. Looks like that weird music was playing from there. You know, the music that was blaring when the fire started? Yeah, you're right. Looks like it's busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it. The music was playing from that MP3 player. I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this? That is interesting. Unless they really just had a flair for the dramatic and ambience. But that doesn't seem very accurate. Let's see, so I looked at all that. I suppose I could talk to everybody again. Looks like this side is completely soaked because of the sprinkler. Even if there was an important clue here, we might not be able to notice it. Well, it's better than the warehouse burned to the ground. Then we would have had no clues whatsoever. Good thing we were able to put out the fire. Well, we didn't do anything. It was the sprinkler system that did it.
Hey,
There was a lot of smoke. It's a good thing we didn't go inside when we were throwing the grenades.
you are right.
I agree. If we did, we would have been caught by the sprinklers and become all wet and soggy. Kazuichi, now's not the time. Okay, well, I thought it was going to be him, but that makes a little more sense. I only just now read what he said. Ugh. Alright, well, Kazuichi's going to say something. You were thinking that, huh? I actually wasn't. I wasn't thinking about specifically that instant. I was specifically thinking about how someone else was going to bring it up. And I was wrong about who it ended up being. I wasn't thinking that at all. He definitely was. Why are you responding, Kazuichi? I was asking Hajime. Ah, you're screwing with me. Oh my. Monokuma, could you not? It's okay, Kazuichi. This was a frame. This was a frame job. Please don't look at me with such fearful eyes. I only imagined it for a second. Kazuichi, you should probably just keep your mouth shut already. Ugh. I know it's not because of the past thing that was just said, but I feel like that was a little too perfect. Well, even though I did say I was gonna friggin' kill him, there's no way I would have actually done it. I was just upset, you know? Don't worry, Kazuichi. If anything, you're only suspicious due to how unsuspicious you are. Seriously, the most ironclad alibi you have is I can't see you doing it. Then again, that could have been said about Mikon, so... Woo. Well, think about the countdown after we live through the class trial. Yes, we've moved on from that, my friend. What do you think about Sonia? Also, what were you doing at the military base? I don't want to mistrust you in any regard, but I need to know. Looks like Sonia's focused on investigating the warehouse. Which reminds me, there's something I need to ask her about. Now, we've pretty much finished investigating Nagito's body. I think it's time to talk to her. Hey, Sonia, you got a minute? What? What is it? I want to talk to you about when that fake bomb Nagito set in the warehouse exploded. You said that it wasn't a bomb. How did you know that? Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? Flashback. It's all right, it is not a bomb. Why did you know the bombs were fake? Well, that's not all either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the central island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you and what were you doing during that time, dang it? Oh my. Do you suspect me? Not by choice, but by necessity, Sonia. The good news is, it's all happening so freakishly obviously that it can't possibly be the actual answer. So you're probably innocent, but I still need an explanation. It is a misunderstanding. I am not the killer. Wow, okay. I don't think I've ever even seen this face before. My God, Sonia, I'm sorry. Legitimately, I don't want to suspect you. Wow, that really caught me off guard. Sonia?
I am sorry.
I'm terribly sorry, I was panicking. I shall calm down and explain to you why I was at the military base. I've never seen you panic that hard before. When I first explored the final island, I discovered a vast amount of bombs there. What?
Well,
At first, I was worried that someone might use them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone. Fair. So I kept silent the whole time. Does that mean when you heard Nagito planted bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them?
that is...
And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. And because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered?
Please listen.
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagito brought were from the military base, which means they were fake bombs. How did you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake? Because I attempted to use one of them. That's a daring strategy. Bleh.
I see.
I thought one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the door to the ancient ruin. Worth a shot, but then if it failed, what's stopping the gun from getting you? At the time, I still believed the bombs were real. Not the bloms, the bombs. And I thought that I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruin. Fair enough. Also, I see you over there, Monomi.
That plan was an utter failure.
I see you over there. What are you doing in a corner being all sneaky, spooky? I don't like it.
The bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display.
So then, okay. So he did take the ones from the military base, but the ones there were fake. Interesting.
God damn it, all to hell.
You're getting absolutely sailor mouth today, Missy. Good lord. Settle your damn tongue, okay?
I see. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
Fair enough. Okay, that's a decent explanation. You didn't want people using the bombs for nefarious purposes.
I did. As did Monomi as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb.
If that's what you want to call it. Because that is not secretly.
Which means...
If those bombs are the same ones that disappeared, it would mean Nagito took them. That is why I knew it was a fake. However, I did think it was strange when Nagito blew up the hotel lobby. Yeah, that was definitely a bomb. Then there goes Kazuichi! That bomb was real, and I could not stop thinking about it. Good lord, look at him go. But upon further reflection, that might have been Nagito's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he set were real as well. So I guess he managed to just pilfer one from the octagon and held on to it until now, and just made us think that all of the other ones would have had to have been real too. Damn, diabolical. If so, then Nagito's actions were extremely calculated, which admittedly are fitting for him. But the problem is his reason for doing it. With this, I have explained everything. Basically, yeah.
Do you have a minute?
There should be no more reason for you to doubt me. I mean, you say that like I want to. You're right, I got it. All right, well, that is useful information. Thank you. All right, I've pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. Yeah, but I didn't get to talk to Akane yet. I was able to find some clues, but there's still not many. There's still so many things I don't understand.
Hold it.
You look worried. Well, yeah, our lives are on the line. Yeah, I am.
Well,
At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range. You mean it's good to investigate other places as well? She might be right. There are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I hear like a helicopter or something in the background. Hang on a second here. Sorry about that. That was really weird. Sounded like an extraordinarily low-flying airplane or something. Everything seems fine, though. She might be right. There are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonia mentioned, the plushie factory next door, Nezumi Castle, where the spear originally came from, and Nagito's room, too. Breaking into people's rooms has worked pretty well so far. We should probably do it again. If I'm gonna understand the reason for his actions, I need to know more about him. God knows we never made an actual attempt. Well, there was that one time. He was the first person I spent any free time with. Kinda regret it. I'm pretty sure the others had already finished investigating.
can you hear me?
Why are you being all forceful like? Hey, you guys, isn't it about time we leave this place and try exploring other areas too? Chiaki, I appreciate and enjoy you as a character, but you've deprived me of Akane flavor text, and that is not a crime that I shall easily forgive. In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her. I agree. I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. It seems we had the same idea. But is it safe? There won't be anyone to guard the crime scene.
Yep.
We don't have a choice. There just aren't enough of us. Besides, we've investigated all that we can here. And I guess you're right.
See?
Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece the incident together. So we need to search for them in other areas. Probably. I guess because Nagito is gone, Chiaki basically needs to be all of the detective characters rolled into one. Before we had multiple people kind of work, splitting it amongst them. But now Chiaki just has to take full control over everything. Well, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we'd have to give up completely. You don't really need to say that. Then it's okay if we leave this place? Akane, I didn't get to hear your thing. It's okay. I am disappointed. There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Nagito's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive, but I don't want to sacrifice anybody. I mean, if anybody, I guess Kazuichi, but I still don't want him dead. Just by virtue of him being around so damn long, I've grown at least a little attached. That's our reality. That's why there's no time for us to stand around. And our many footsteps were heard. They clattered about. All right, well, I guess first things first. I mean, I'm closest to the plushie factory. Might as well see what I can find out here. If anything. I gotta wonder if any of this is, maybe part of a clue or something. Apparently the bombs that were stuffed on this truck were actually fireworks. Which reminds me, this truck looks like it came from the military base. Nagito must have brought it from there. So I guess he just straight up drove it. Other than that, there's nothing in particular that catches my eye. Anybody around, perhaps? Yeah, Sonia, of course. I have never seen so many Monokumas in my life, and may we never have to again. Well, Monokuma isn't exactly someone you would normally run into.
However,
While I was staring at all these Monokumas, a thought occurred to me. What's that thought? Ba-boom!
well,
The bomb that went off the lobby might have been set up here. Huh? What do you mean?
do you have a minute?
If you hide the bomb inside a Monokuma plushie, it would make a frightening weapon. Do you not think the group that is forcing us to kill each other would devise something like that?
Amazing.
A plushie bomb is an act of terrorism! Mostly because, you know, you shouldn't blow up plushies.
All right.
Let us rip these apart right away so we can confirm it. Hold on. If there was a bomb inside these, wouldn't it explode if we carelessly messed with it?
Easy as pie.
Either way, it is all gravy! You are very adamant on this whole lingo thing. All gravy? What the hell does that mean? I mean, okay, by all accounts, she used the term correctly, though.
Enough already.
Stop, there's no bomb.
Hey,
You'll know if you just pick me up, see? All you'll feel is the soft weight of cotton.
I see.
Hmm.
I see.
You are right.
However,
Then where did Nagito obtain the bomb he used?
who knows?
I wonder. If I'm gonna give you guys a hint, then you should know it wasn't from the military base.
What?
To tell you the truth, the bombs there are all fakes.
Please wait.
Yeah, we kinda gathered. I know that already. You should have said so earlier.
No.
Well, I thought if I kept quiet, it would foreshadow that a killing was gonna happen. That's why I'm just telling you now for the first time. Whew, I'm relieved. God, you suck. But if the bomb wasn't from the military base or this factory, then he brought it from the Octagon.
Well,
I must say, you have a good eye there, Sonia. Putting a bomb inside one of my plushies seems like a splendid idea. Let's try it. I'd rather we didn't. Did I say something I should not have said? I feel like a lot of us have done that lately. It's not your fault. Don't worry about it. Although that's a truth bullet, apparently. Oh, okay. I thought the plushies and the possibility of them being bombs was supposed to be it. Not so, not so. Alright, might as well look over everything, even if it's not important anymore. That reminds me, we saw Nagito's video message on this laptop. Is he still watching us from somewhere? If he's not, then how did he time his message so perfectly? Well, it looks like the video was set to play after the explosion by a wireless signal from the detonator. But why did he have to use a video message? That's the one thing I don't get. At the time, Nagito should have been killed already, which means that video was recorded in advance. That's right, besides that video, there might be data on this laptop that could be used as a clue. So it's probably broken now. With that in mind, I tried messing around with the laptop, but yeah, it's no use, it's locked. There's no way I can examine this. Did you try entering the password? I assume it's hope. But if it's locked, then maybe there really is something inside. Maybe I'm overthinking this. It's very possible. Alright, oh, hang on, what about the rest of this stuff? There's an enormous machine. But it's stopped for now. Looks like there's nothing related to the incident here. I make the brash assumption of such. Alright, well, the break room is on the other side of this door. This is where we obtained the fire grenades. Anything inside? Nothing on the floor that looks like a clue. Not even trash. Cool, we don't even get to go inside. Fantastic. Alright, well, that's pretty much everything that there is to conceivably look at, I guess. Is it even possible to get back into the funhouse? I don't think that it is. Also, how did we specifically get out of there? Now that I think about it. The trial ended and we just were not trapped in there anymore. I mean, I know that the Monokuma rock made that giant hole and everything, but still. Very odd. Alrighty. So, I suppose I should take a gander at the military base. Just because the bombs weren't from there doesn't mean that there isn't something interesting to be found from there. Let's be entirely real here. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. At least this is what I think and what I say. Alright, Kazuichi, you're a man that knows machines. Damn it, this dangerous place is the reason all this messed up stuff is happening. Leaving guns out in the open is totally dangerous. Seriously, they gotta take better care of these. It's easy to say that, but there's no one on this island who can do that. Oh boy. Okay, well, I guess I need to look at everything again. When I tried looking through the truck bed, it's empty. Nothing's here. When I first came here, there was something on the truck bed, which means Sonia was telling the truth. And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. Thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. Fascinating. But did Nagito know the bombs weren't real? It's possible that he thought they were the real thing. Oh, never mind. He said as much in his video message. So, one reason or another, he knew. Were you surprised? Seriously, think about it. Do you really think there are enough bombs to blow up an entire island? Even if there were, a guy like me would never be able to use them. I don't know how that works. You don't really need to have any kind of given skill or ability to use a bomb. He knew the bombs were fake. He only did what he did to weed out the traitor. No, is that really it? Did Nagito only do that to expose the traitor? Maybe there was a different motive behind his actions. Well, it's certainly possible. So, are all of the weapons in this place fake, or what? A huge supply of guns and other firearms are stuffed into the truck bed. Yeah, found it! What'd you find? Well, that truck bed over there has guns in it, but I also found stuff like... Aha! A survival knife. Wait, that's the very same. Isn't that the same type of knife that was stabbed through Nagito's right hand? Sure seems that way, which means the killer obtained the knife here. So the killer is someone who visited this military base at least once. I mean, the only one I feel completely confident saying has never been here would be Fuyuhiko, and even then, he could have while I wasn't here. That's everyone, though. No, not me. This is the first time I've been here. That sounds incredibly untrue. Like, all of these apparently operational vehicles, and you decided, nah, you know what, I'm not interested in going in there. Seems unlikely. If the bombs are fake, this might be fake, too. But I'm not brave enough to check for myself. So I'm not gonna. Hey, maybe we could punch the helicopter again. It's that dreadful helicopter. The one that executed Traitor. Doesn't have anything to do with the incident, as far as we know. Oh, I wanted to punch it again. That would have been funny. All right, fine. God damn it, Hajime. Why are you learning from your past mistakes? All right, so the question is, do you think there's any possibility of any of these other things working that way? I wonder. Oh, god damn it, there's so much poop. Great. It's gonna turn into a freaking snake or something again. All right, well, that thing's a complete and total lost cause. I'm just gonna wander my way in here to make sure. I feel like I just need to go to the Nizumi Castle, though. The game pretty clearly laid out all of the places that were probably important. Yeah. Alright then, we'll probably just head over there next. It would make the most sense, I dare say. Alright, look at me go! Actually, hang on, the food stands. I do want to at least look inside the place. Even if there's nothing there, it's not like it's taking up that much time to figure this stuff out. And nope, but apparently the food stands were literally an entirely superfluous area. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but still. Very strange. All right, let's get out of here. All right, so the theme park was the 4th island, I believe, so we'll just very quickly dash our way over there. I guess I'm also not getting as much experience points from this by doing it the way I am, but I digress. All right, well, to the castle. Now that I finally get another chance to maybe actually walk around in there, sure would be nice. Okay, well, I guess I'll go a little further in. Is anybody hanging out around here? Anybody? Anybody, everybody, longest pants? Fuyu! It be you! Also, yeah, what do you know? A spear with a flashy ornament on it is hanging from the hall. And yeah, they all have cords and weights on them. I've never known a spear to be created in that way before. I actually have to look into this. I actually really like studying weapons and the like. Surprise, surprise, I know. But I've never actually... I mean, basically it's... Other than like a harpoon gun with like a rope attached to it to reel stuff in, I don't think I've ever seen something like this. Otherwise, it would be more like a kirigami or something to that effect. Chain sickle, you know, something like that. This spear is definitely it, right? You think that was there when we were here last? Just as I thought. Looks exactly like the spear that killed Nagito. The same whip-like cord is attached to the handle, and there's a weight at the end of it.
Also,
Very strange. Plus, it looks like one of the spears on the wall is missing. So, we know where that is. There's no mistaking it. The killer took one of those spears and used it as a weapon. Spear of gun gear, huh? Monokuma would totally come up with a lame name like that. It is rather. Why'd the killer use the spear and a knife?
Well, yeah.
Why go through the trouble of getting a knife from the military base and a spear from all the way over here? Yeah, they could have just killed him with the knife. Would have been easier, too. There's no way a spear like this with this unnecessary cord thing on it would be easy to use. Yeah, it definitely looks hard to wield. But still, they chose this spear for a reason. What could that reason be? That's a very good question. Oh, what? I feel a little tired. No matter how much I investigate, I don't feel any closer to the truth. That's probably why I feel this way. I'm feeling this strange feeling that I've never felt before. As if Nagito is trying to make us suffer even after he's died. If anybody could, it would be him. Well, now's not the time to think about stupid things like that. I haven't even investigated his cottage yet. It's too early to start complaining. If we investigate that place, we might be able to find some kind of clue. Alright, let's go. The question is, where is Chiaki and Akane? The killer must have taken the spear from here. A spear like this isn't convenient at all, and it would have been a pain in the ass to carry around. So why'd they bother using it in the first place?
I see.
Maybe this spear was actually used for torture too? Torture, huh? I mean, if my theory of it being, like, tied up and then dropped, as like, under the threat of, oh no, the spear is gonna drop and ba-ba-boom, you know, something to that effect, that would stand to some reason. I do hope that I bump into either of the girls that I haven't seen yet on my way there. A part of me almost wants to see if I can go back to the funhouse, but another larger part of me really doesn't. So, if it's all the same, I'd like to run all the way back to where the hotel is. There we go. Hajime has mastered the ultimate sprinting ability. There we go. Hotel. Actually, it's not exactly important, but at the same time, part of me wonders. Let me just take a quick look here. Okay, so yeah, there's where Chiaki is. But where is Akane? What? Hang on. Akane is still in the warehouse? Well, hang on a damn second. I'm dropping every dang thing. I'm even teleporting. What you two doing over there? I was looking all over for you, and I don't even know where you was. You didn't even leave the warehouse in the first place. The most diabolical of hiding spots. Why you hiding, girl? Not that I'm suspicious. I'm not suspicious of her. Honestly, out of everyone, I feel the most confident in her not doing it. Not due to any personal biases, mind you. Actually, because, well, she already kind of sort of attempted to kill him and seemed pretty damn remorseful of it. I don't think she would have done it again. And if she did, I don't think she would have used the weapons that she did. What happened? Didn't you go to investigate somewhere else? There's something at the back of my mind. I'm feeling unsure about something. Well, I'd like to hear it. What is it? Didn't I just say it's at the back of my mind? That's why I can't explain it. The sound and the smells when we went inside here, it's just not clear. She's the type to have something on her mind because of her gut feeling, huh? Hey, I don't want to hear a single bad word about her gut feeling. They've all been correct so far. Akane's gut feeling. Previously, that feeling of hers helped us find a lot of things by accident. It's almost like some kind of feral instinct. That's an incredibly mean way to put it, but fine, whatever. All right, well, I have the right to speak to whoever I so choose. All right, well, that all being said, seeing as how I teleported my way here, I feel like it's kind of okay for me to teleport my way back. Oh, dang it. All right, come on here. Central Island, First Island. There we go. Dun 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 dun, and there we go. Now we're here. I have returned once more. And I believe that Chiaki is just kind of chilling and hanging around over around here somewhere. That seemed to be the implication. Or were you inside the hotel again? You're always in the hotel, but there's no arcade machine this time. Also, we're investigating stuff. Do you think maybe he left something in the restaurant or something? I could see that being possible. He did spend a fair decent amount of time in here. And I want to make sure I talk to everybody if I can. And I don't see Chiaki anywhere. Okay. Oh, then herpa derpa derpa derp. It just meant she was in the general area. She's probably inspecting the cottage. That would make the most sense. All right, hold on a second there, lady. All right, there's soda. Oh, all right, never mind. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Hi there.
Hajime.
Ah, Hajime. Oh my, you want to go inside Nagito's room too? I was just listening to Chiaki's request. She wants me to unlock the door to Nagito's cottage because she really needs it for the class trial. She begged me to do it while she was licking my black eye. That is disgusting, and I don't think she would do that under any given circumstance, so I'm going to have to ask you to not slander her character or put incredibly disgusting images in the minds of anybody who might actually possibly want to actually think about that, because they're sick and wrong and I don't like it. I didn't do that. Yeah, I know, Chiaki, don't worry. I had a mild freak out about it. Then do it! It's sweet because it's made out of black bean paste. That doesn't make any sense. Hey, we really don't have time for your usual nonsense, so shut up and open the door. Don't lock the damn door. Fine, fine. I guess I have no choice. I just gotta do that, right?
Now then.
That's an entirely different magic word than you used last time. Tia, open the door. You can freely investigate now. This is my first time seeing that, but why does that door open with a spell like that? Maybe the cottage key is computerized. More importantly, let's go inside now that the door is open. Yeah, you're right. And then we did. His room is either gonna be mad creepy or completely undecorated. Also, there's the treasure box. So, Nagito is living here. What was he thinking inside this room? Was he thinking dark, disturbing thoughts under the pretense of hope? That sounds like his entire situation. What was he feeling as he spent his days in here? I can't even imagine. Nor do I really have a very strong desire to do so. Wanting to see absolute hope, becoming despair so he could act as a stepping stone for the rest of us. No matter how much I think about it, I just don't understand him at all. I don't even know if he truly believed that. Could have been all lies. We don't know. He was especially weird these past few days. What changed him? Maybe the clue to that might be hidden here as well. Also, freaking Monomi box. Our time for investigation is winding down. The bookshelf might take some time to investigate, so we should try examining some other areas first. Oh yeah, I guess that wouldn't be a thing. Also, I see you over there, you freaking weirdo. Is that the last of the hidden Monokumas? Of this particular area, I mean, like, of that kind. I never even used the damn coins. I don't know. I saw in the extras I could use them to buy CGs. Maybe I'll just do that. It's not like I need to buy anything from the Mana Yashin anymore. Alright, well, let's see. Well, the treasure box is obviously the most interesting thing. A fancy-looking treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights is totally standing out. Oh, could this be? The very box that was stolen from Monomi? Could you let me know if you find my treasure? It's a magnificent treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights. It's gaudy as hell. That treasure box? Chiaki, you know about this?
Yep.
It's really cute. Oh, she was just reacting. I guess? Still a bit of an odd reaction, even for her. This looks like Monomi's stolen treasure box. If this is here, that means the thief Monomi was talking about was Nagito, and the world's most easily solved crime has been solved. Why would Nagito steal this? In order to find out, it might be good to see what's inside.
Hold it.
Is it gonna be okay? It looks a little dangerous. It actually looks the opposite of dangerous. It might be, but this could be some kind of clue, you know? If this wasn't important, Nagito wouldn't have stolen it from Monomi in the first place. All right, I turned back toward the lid treasure box and cautiously opened the lid. Is that a trading card? Inside there was a notebook. Oh, this is it? Why is a notebook inside this treasure box like it's something important? I took the notebook out of the treasure box and began leafing through it. Oh, hello. Interesting. Byakuya became the something everyone's tired. Things happened. I was able to talk to everyone for the first time today. Bad guy. Interesting. It contains sloppy drawings as if they were made by children and entries that looked like chicken scratch. Day 1, I was able to talk to everybody for the first time today. Monokuma showed up and everything's turned bad. Day 2, Byakuya is the leader. A lot of things happened today, so everyone's tired. Although apparently she thought he was cool. What is this, a diary? Looks like it. Did Monomi write these? Probably. These pictures and entries totally suit her. I kept flipping through the pages. Day 3, day 4, day 5. Page after page of poorly written entries continued on in the notebook. I don't really understand it, but it looks like there aren't any clues here. And right when I was about to give up, My hand suddenly stopped on an entry titled Day 16. It was almost Day 15. Everybody give it up for Day 15. Oh, hello. Day 16. We've been in the funhouse for 3 days. Everyone's hungry and on edge. Hajime tried to go in the final dead room today. He's probably panicking because no one believes him. Wow. Huh? Hajime, did something happen? It's nothing. Hey, stop! Don't look at my notebook! Too late, already did it, can't stop it. Can't stop, won't stop, whoa! From out of nowhere, Monomi suddenly appeared and took the notebook out of my hand. I did ask you to look for my treasure box, but I never said you were allowed to peek inside. Jeez, that was close. If I'd come any later, he would have seen the inside of the notebook. Unfortunately, you were a little too late. But if this notebook is here, then Nagito was the thief? Betrayal! I was betrayed by my beloved student. You really shouldn't have put any faith in him, let's be real. Hey, that notebook, it's pretty much your diary, right? Diary? I mean, it seems that way. That's right, this is my important diary where all my maiden secrets are written. Hey, you're a liar. You always show up out of nowhere. Monomi, it's not good to lie, you know? Lie? There's no way you wrote in that notebook. After all, Monomi can't even write. Like, legitimately? Eh? What are you saying? Jeez, I can write letters easily. I can finally write the letter B. No, you can't, because you have no fingers on your hands. Okay, well, I mean, that is actually true. I figured it was more of like a Powerpuff Girls situation where they just kind of stick to them magnetically. See? Bullseye. I know, because I'm the same way, too. Well, I mean, fair enough. Are you mad? Are you angry that I exposed a weakling like you? So that's what this is about. You're seriously trying to crush me.
What are you saying?
What are you saying? There's no way a big brother would ever crush his little sister. Monomi seems to have come to a dark revelation. It looks like the time to settle things between us is getting closer every second. Hey, I don't know why you're getting so serious, but is what Monokuma said true? You did sweat and say that it seems that way. He said you didn't write in that notebook. Is that true? Well, I'm guessing it was, but then who did? If so, who wrote in it? Well, you know, it's, how should I put it? Excuse me! Hold on! Damn it, you ran away again. Why does she have to suck? The same pattern as usual. Looks like it's a waste of time to try to get answers from her. But still, I really want to ask her about the notebook. Well, actually, it might be better that I didn't ask her. Regardless, that's definitely something. Okay. And, well, is that a fridge? How did he get an entire dang fridge? There's a refrigerator. Nice. My cottage doesn't even have a refrigerator. I wonder where he got it from. Nagito probably supplied it himself. Why would he go to the trouble of putting a refrigerator in his room? Does he enjoy cold drinks? I mean, most people would go for hot drinks. They really get you going when you think you're slowing. As I talked with Chiaki, I opened the refrigerator out of curiosity. Severed body parts as far as I could see. Oh, never mind. Really isn't much inside other than poison. The only thing inside this refrigerator was a brown bottle that has a label on it saying poison. If for someone who likes cold drinks, it doesn't look like it's stocked very much. But that bottle clearly isn't a drink, right? Really? Looks like some kind of dietary supplement to me. Protein powder, maybe? Oh, that just makes more sad memories. I took the brown bottle out of the fridge and started reading the label. Exclusively made for poisoning someone to death. Hey, this is... Yeah, it looks like it's poison. Poison! Looks like there was a warning label on the back. Let's examine it in a little more detail. But be careful with that bottle, don't drop it. Stop it, if you worry me like that, I'm gonna get nervous. Oh, that's a long-ass label. I grabbed the bottle with my trembling hand and began reading the warning label on the back of the bottle. Poison made specifically for killing someone. It's Monokuma's special poison. This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized. In a gaseous state, it is heavier than air. It breaks down in minutes and is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it is possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications. Keep this liquid secured by storing it in a cool place in a glass or plastic container away from sunlight. Oh, no. That doesn't answer a lot of questions, but I think I just figured out a few things. It sure does look like a chemical made solely for poisoning someone to death. This refrigerator must be here to keep the poison secure. But where did Nagito get something like this? That question could apply to the bomb he used at the hotel too. I guess the octagon. Applied to the bomb. There should be a reason Nagito was able to obtain such dangerous items. The octagon inside the funhouse. This poison. He must have brought it with him from there too, right? I'm just... I don't know how much I should say about what I've devised in my brainscape, but I feel like you guys should probably have been able to come to the same conclusion, no? About exactly how this poison is meant to be used. Away from sunlight, kept in glass, or something to that effect. I think you guys should be able to put it together too. And if that's true, that's really not good. This poison. He must have brought it with him from there too, right? He's probably hiding them somewhere on his body during the last class trial. He did have a very large coat. He was hiding a bomb and poison during the class trial? How dangerous. What would he have done if he accidentally tripped and broke the bottle? Just thinking about it scares me.
Hey, hey.
Also, he already blew up the bomb he took with him at the lobby. But what about this poison? Huh?
See?
It looks like this bottle is less than half empty. Was it like this from the beginning? Probably not. Or did Nagito use it? I think he did. If so, where did he use it? I wonder, is there still a trap somewhere that hasn't been sprung yet? That is possible, but I hope not. Another trap? For example, maybe he was making some kind of trap using this poison before he died? If that actually exists, it'd be real bad. It could potentially kill everyone on the island. Everyone on the island? What the hell? Nagito, are you still trying to make us suffer? Yeah, probably. It was this entire thing. Are you still trying to make us suffer even after you've died? That's just kind of his whole entire thing, isn't it? Alright, well, I don't like what this bottle implies. Let's say that much. There's a lot of books arranged here. Did Nagito bring these from the library? In addition to the books, there's a bunch of random crap stuffed under the shelf. Why did he bother decorating? It'd take a lot of time for us to thoroughly go through that stuff.
Hey, hey.
Let's just leave it for later. Yeah, I agree. But I thought that was important. Do I need to look at the bed first? It's the bed that comes with the cottages. Looks like just one. It looks like just the. It looks just like the one in my room, but
Hey, hey.
maybe there's something hidden under his bed. It's a usual place for hiding things. He's not wrong, but also, who uses paper media anymore? Well, we should check it just in case. Alley-oop. With no expectations and without thinking, I peeked under the bed and... But there's something here. It's a plastic bag from the supermarket. Looks like there's something inside. What is this? That is gas masks and gloves. That is definitely for the purposes of handling a poison. Looks like a gas mask and rubber gloves. These look like the real deal. Did he get these from the military base or the supermarket? Either one. A gas mask and rubber gloves. He was hiding these under his bed. What did Nagito use this stuff for? Handling poison, obviously.
Hajime.
Was there anything else under the bed? Let's see. As I take another gander, I peeked under the bed once again and started looking around the area where I found the supermarket bag and... Oop, small piece of paper on the floor. A piece of paper made of blue aluminum? A round, thin piece of aluminum, huh? It's similar to those seals that go over jars of unopened mayonnaise. An interesting comparison, but not inaccurate. I get what you're saying, but does this mean this is just a piece of trash? Are you implying that Nagito eats entire tubs of mayonnaise in one sitting? Is that what he's been eating this entire time? Just endless mayonnaise jars? Dear God, that's a disgusting thought.
Wait.
Who knows? Might be too soon to decide that. Let's just assume everything is important until it's not. Okay, well, that being said, I guess I could look out the window. The basic layout is just like my cottage. There's nothing about this window that really catches my eye. Okay then, so I've looked at everything. Now do we look at the books? There are a lot of books and other mysterious items stuffed on this shelf. The genres and the type of items are all so random. I can't make any sense of them whatsoever. What do you say? They say a shelf is a mirror that reflects a person's heart. Do they now? Wow. The shelves of my heart are extraordinarily covered in a lot of figurines. So, I don't know what that tells you. I definitely don't know much about Nagito just by looking at this. So, what should we do? It's really difficult to look through all these piles. That doesn't mean we should ignore it, though.
Yep.
I'll leave it to you then, Hajime. Wow, passing the buck, I see. Wouldn't it be faster if we both did it? Wait, what? It's better if a boy goes through another boy's things. You know, there might be private stuff here. Well, that might be true, but...
See?
So, I'll leave this shelf to you. I think I just got persuaded to do this without realizing it. Damn you, Chiaki! I sighed and walked toward the shelf. One by one, I started removing the various books and items and examining each one. But even as I examined them carefully, they were still a bunch of random books and items. There's no way there are any clues here. Eh? It's the thing! Oh, that file wasn't the only one I received from Monokuma. This is another one. That seal! Indeed. It's the school badge of Hope's Peak Academy. Does that have information about our stolen memories? Unfortunately, I couldn't find any clues about that. The file doesn't contain our information, just Hajime's information. Nagito said this only contained information about me, but is that really true? If I look at this, it should be obvious, right? And he said I was from the reserve department and had no talent whatsoever. That might have been another one of his lies, too! I mean, I feel like it wasn't, though. I opened the file, I held it in my hand to confirm that. Instantly, I realized something was strange. If this really has only my information, then why is this file so thick? Unless you are that interesting a guy. As soon as I opened it, it was clear to me. Just as I thought, Nagito had lied to me. Aside from my information, there was information about the others, Kazuichi, Fuyuhiko, Akane, and Sonia. And everyone who died had pages of information about them, too. The file contained information on all 16 of us. Only my information, my ass. Can't believe you'd make up such a strange lie. So that means the rest of it might be a lie, too. I turned to the page containing my information and began reading through the content. The profile contained basic information, such as my date of birth, height, weight, so forth. But there was one thing that specifically caught my eye. The words, reserve course student. Yeah, I don't think that was ever a lie, my dude. There was no denying it. I confirmed that I truly was a reserve course student from the reserve department. I'm sorry, man. Why is this the only thing that isn't a lie? Why am I the only one here who's from the reserve department? Why am I here with all the other ultimates? Is it possible to look at some of the other pages? Because I'm actually curious about some stuff. Hajime, did something happen? I just found a strange file. Ah! Isn't that the special prize Nagito received when he cleared the final dead room? As I recall, your student profile should be in there. It's not just my profile. The profiles of everyone on this island are in here, too. Nagito was lying.
Huh?
When you say everyone, do you mean everyone? Yeah, it's just basic information, but there should be profiles for all 16 of us. Can I take a look at that file? Chiaki leaned against me and peered into the file. Yeah, go nuts. Adorable!
You're right. My profile is really in here. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any details.
There's just one thing I really wanted to look at, though.
Details?
Details about our missing memories. Information about the time we spent at Hope's Peak Academy.
Well, that's a little interesting, but then again, why is the book so big? If it was just 16 pages, it wouldn't be this big. That doesn't make any sense.
If it's not written in there, these profiles might have been written before we entered the academy.
I mean, that would make sense.
And it's impossible to obtain new clues from them.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah, seems like it.
Okay, well, I guess that's what we're going with. But if that's the case, then why on earth did this cause... I don't understand. Why did this cause Nagito to go even more nutso? Ah, hold on.
Huh?
What happened? I just noticed it right now, but... Yes?
The file. His name isn't in there, right?
Eh?
There's supposed to be 16 names worth of profiles. But his name is the only one missing, right?
Well, but who?
What are you talking about?
Byakuya. I'm talking about Byakuya Togami.
He's not in it.
Look carefully. No matter where I look, I don't see his name anywhere.
Of course. All right. So, what if a name isn't written in that file? Perhaps, based on that, you think he might be the traitor? That isn't actually where my brain went. No, it's not just because his name isn't written in here. That's not the only reason I think he's suspicious. There's also that. He participated in the killing school life at Hope's Peak Academy, right? For someone like him to be in a similar situation on this island and literally never bring it up. No matter what, it's definitely suspicious. Well, it pains me to say this, but what you're saying about the missing name and about the killing school life, it's totally wrong. There's a completely different reason. A different reason?
You're getting all riled up.
How should I put this? You guys have been getting all worked up about that Byakuya for no reason. See, there's that, okay, hang on, that Byakuya? Which means the great mystery that you think surrounds that Byakuya doesn't exist. You're basing it on one person's cheap speculation. What do you mean? You don't have to ask me that. You know the answer just by looking through those profiles, right? Eh? Okay. My eyes turned back to the file. One by one, I started flipping through the pages and confirming the names. Oh, hello. And suddenly, I came across a page that was filled with question marks. Literally no information except the ultimate impostor? So, Fat Byakuya was just a fat guy pretending to be him? Every section was filled with question marks. It could barely be considered a student profile. On that page, I was only able to confirm one thing. Ultimate imposter? That's that Byakuya's true identity. True identity? He was a fake that was pretending to be the ultimate affluent progeny Byakuya Togami. A fake? The fact that his profile is filled with question marks isn't a mistake or an oversight. Surprisingly enough, that's the correct information regarding him. We literally don't know anything about him at all other than he pretends to... Okay, either he pretends to be Byakuya or he pretends to be, I guess, anybody else, I suppose. The ultimate imposter, I imagine, could probably pretend to be anybody. The ultimate imposter has no name, no permanent address, and even his age and gender is unknown. Then there would have to be an incredibly good imposter to pull that off without that, but, huh. Basically, he doesn't exist. Because he doesn't exist, he's able to exist as anybody. That's his talent, woo-hoo-hoo, though I'm not jealous of that at all. Which is why I said that. That person wasn't really Byakuya Toogami? Is that why he was so much fatter compared to when he was involved in the killing school life? Oh, so okay, so we are gonna bring that up.
So cool.
His physique doesn't affect his ability to fool others at all. Real imposters are skilled like that. So then he impersonates people, but that person, if they were also really fat? You'd have to be a really good imposter to be able to pull that off. That he was lying to us the whole time? Then again, that would line up to the things he said. And it's possible that well, first of all, it would explain why he wouldn't know anything about Monokuma. It would also explain how on earth Byakuya, of all people, would end up in this situation twice. It would even possibly explain that was probably the thing that he wanted to maybe talk about later in the future, but never got a chance to.
But still...
But he couldn't help it. Why couldn't he help it? Because that was his talent. Well, having talent means you're also bound to that talent. The moment you obtain talent, your way of life has already been chosen for you. You can't do anything else except rely on that talent. I don't think that's necessarily true, but okay. Regardless of whether you want that life or not. In that sense, compared to the other ultimates, your life might be a bit more liberating. What the hell? Anyway, I'm not happy that you guys fell for a scam that I had nothing to do with.
That's right.
So I'll tell you straight up. The revelation about Byakuya is exactly the truth. Then, what was he trying to say to me at that time? I cannot talk to others about my past. I suspect that my skeptical nature is partly to blame. Distrusting others and being distrusted in turn. For a long time, my life has been a living hell. I mean, that would all line up. based on the context, if I had to guess,
No, no.
maybe he was just complaining that he was cursed to wander the earth as nothing more than a fraud. Tch. But if you guys had your school memories, you never would have been betrayed in the first place. I don't really know if I could call what happened there a betrayal. More so, a lie, really, but that's not a betrayal inherently. I mean, it'd be different if you were meeting him for the first time. But since you guys went to Hope's Peak Academy, you should have known about the ultimate imposter already. Yeah, I guess he would have been a classmate. So, in the end, it all leads back to memory loss. Jeez, the Future Foundation sure is awful. There's no way you should ignore Monomi or the Traitor. Yeah, but you keep saying that they're bad. And you're significantly worse than just about anything. So I feel like I should just assume the opposite with you. Who is it? Who's the Traitor? Just from looking at these 16 profiles, I still wouldn't know who's from the Future Foundation. Is there really someone like that? Well, obviously you wouldn't know. I made that file so you guys couldn't find out.
Could it be?
So it's just as I thought. You're the one who did it.
Hey,
The fact that there are 16 profiles in there is what's wrong. I mean, the Traitor's a spy sent by the Future Foundation, not a student from Hope's Peak Academy. You made a fake profile for the Traitor and included it in here?
correct.
It wouldn't be fun if you figured out who the Traitor was so easily, right?
Hey, hey.
Then we can't use this file to figure out who the Traitor is. That was true for Nagito too, right? Well, probably. Unless he somehow devised some sort of knowledge from it. Despite that, yeah, I suppose it possibly maybe is. You wasted your precious time on something that isn't a clue, and yet it became a truth bullet, so obviously it's important.
Are you
Was that a wise decision? Time's up, you know. Time's up. Wait! Excuse me for a moment. He is frighteningly quick. Well then. That chime just now. Oh dear.
What is most important for living things?
Food, water, and companionship. To a lesser extent, shelter.
Well, personally, I think time is.
Yeah, well, your opinion is wrong.
I mean, your bank account may go up and down, but time will inevitably run out.
I
right?
never listed money in my list.
That's why we gotta cherish time. There is nothing more wasteful than wasting time.
And that's exactly what you're doing. I see what you're doing here.
So, time's up. We will begin the last class trial. So please gather at Monokuma Rock.
Okay, so that's a bit of a problem. I mean, I have some ideas. The poison bottle in the refrigerator answers a lot of questions, but it doesn't tell me who actually did it.
I'll see you soon.
Unless this is going the exact... Yeah, actually, no. Wait. If this is going the way that I think it is going, then I don't think it's actually possible for me to be able to know who it is that did it. Oh, no. The last class trial. He said that, right? He said last class trial.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard it too. He really did say it was the last class trial. What do you think? Should we believe him? Monokuma seemed anxious about the Monokuma timer earlier, right? 2 more days. And he said something about the killing school trip ending, right? Based on the time limit, this might definitely be the last one.
But still.
But I can't imagine that it's the real end. Huh? I think Monokuma's real plan might be just beyond that. His real plan? Is Monokuma still planning to make us do something? What could it be? Maybe after putting us through all this, he's planning to kill the remaining survivors all at once? Well, that would be... I mean, it's not impossible. I doubt it, but I feel like that's not the case. But still, it's also not a good idea to think about it too much, I think. I think we should focus on the class trial that's waiting for us first. You're right. The class trial for Nagito's murder. We're pretty screwed. I haven't collected my thoughts because we were so focused on this file. I still can't see who killed Nagito.
But still.
Well, you don't have to worry so much. Huh?
Right?
I mean, we're not fighting this alone, you know. You're right. You're absolutely right. We're not alone. Even if it's a mystery that can't be solved alone, as long as everyone cooperates and works together. Yeah, if we do that, things will turn out fine. For all but one of us. My theory is kind of out there, so I'm not, like, super duper 100% sure if I should vocalize it. But if that whole poison situation played out the way that I think it did, then I don't know if that this is a mystery I can actually realistically find an answer to.
Damn right.
All the pieces are there. You guys should be able to figure out what I just figured out, I think. Looks like everyone's here. Is this it? Shouldn't there be more people? No. No, there shouldn't.
Damn it.
Stop it. You're making me depressed. You're making me depressed. Yeah. Fast. Almost said, nope. I don't say that unless I absolutely need to. It's one thing to depress Akane, but Minimaru too. So it is going to happen again. The cruel conflict where we must doubt our friends. But once we're through with this, we can go back, right? That Monokuma guy said so, didn't he? He said this is the last class trial.
Damn it.
We've been tricked every step of the way. There's no way I can believe that so easily.
Of course.
Why can't you believe it? The guy who's making us do this, all this is the one saying it, you know?
You know, right?
That's why I'll definitely survive. If you can really go home after we deal with this class trial, I'll definitely find out who the killer is, no matter what. Even if I have to pull out all the stops. Damn, what crawled in your diaper? Why are you here? And not even talking. You haven't realized it yet? Weh? The feeling of wanting to leave this island. Thinking like that is Monokuma's trap, you know.
Huh?
What are you saying?
Got it?
There's no way Monokuma will end things here. He's planning something far worse. Ah, stop trying to jinx us! Damn right, stupid rabbit should just shut up. Oh, she's not even getting all sad and weepy about it. Everyone, you mustn't run away from despair. Huh? I finally realized, after losing my powers, I've realized that cursing your powerlessness or your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as there's a possibility, you must face it, in order to become someone who can be proud of yourself. So I will fight. What's her deal? I do not really know, but she seems different from before. Maybe she read a self-help book.
Wait.
But her eyes, she looks so determined. What can you tell just by looking at those button eyes? Akane's got good sense. I trust her gut and I trust her instincts. Anyway, make sure you turn off Minimaru. It'd be annoying if he started talking during the trial. Oh, fine.
Let's do it.
Rude. It's her comfort animal, creature, toy, thing. I don't know what to call it. Somehow I understand what Monomi is saying, I think. Anyway, let's get going to the last class trial.
Yep.
You're right. We need to fight as much as we can, no matter what hopeless truth awaits us in the end. I am not ready for this, guys. There's literally no good possible answer here. This is the end. I kept saying those words to myself over and over within my mind, and I just realized something else! Whoa. Man, if even half of what I think is the case, this is gonna be a roller coaster. I entered Monokuma Rock. This is gonna be one depressing elevator ride. Next to nobody's even gonna be in it. Oh, that is just not great.
Yeah.
This elevator ride. This will be the last time for this too, right? I hope so.
Well,
Let's worry about things after we're finished.
you are right.
More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Damn it.
The killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is gonna go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. Nagito was problematic in many ways, and that is the nicest feasible way anybody could ever say that. But he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. But even if he's gone, the ones who survived need to stand and fight. We must fight. And then, the door slowly opened. This bright light greeting us. Is that the light of hope? Or the light of despair? Ooh, it's industrial. But tinted blue. So, I mean, if it has to be a color. Well then, now that that chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left. Enough! Just start this already. Hey, this is it, right? This is really the last class trial, right? Yep, it sure is. So you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all. Didn't I tell you? He said it. This is the end. Monomi has other thoughts. Let's get this trial started. This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and not kill each other. This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, it's also the last one. The curtain is about to rise. Yee. Nagito Kamiyata, the ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. Boy, was I wrong! But his true nature held such a demented thought process that was nothing like his outward appearance. Well, actually, it kind of was when you get down to it, but semantics. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. But there was also times he saved us, too. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but... there's no way we can end this without knowing. We will be consumed by despair. Ooh, that's a depressing one. That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagito. The killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Monokuma says this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. And so, this life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun. I don't like where this is going at all, you guys. No matter how it possibly can end, it's going to end really sadly. I'm confident that it was ultimately one of us that did it. I just don't know who that one specifically is. Unless this second theory I just had while we entered the rock is anything to go by. In which case I mean, even if that theory is true, I still don't know who did it. Other than the more general, broad sense of the term. Oh. I'll see you all then. I'll just leave it at that.